All right, what's going on, everyone? Today we are, after the last stream using the um, Raspad 3, I decided it was time I actually come up with a better idea to actually stream with, so I can do audio and video recording. So this is the old case that I had made, and I thought it was pretty cool at the time. Basically, we have dual fans. There's a fan here doing exhaust, and there's also a fan here doing intake. And then it's just, a bunch of stuff on the inside there. So what I'm going to do today is basically use this case here for setting up and running OBS and seeing if we can get a little bit better cooling with this setup. But what I think we're going to end up doing is most likely running this as an enclosed unit with maybe a 7-inch touchscreen or something like that. So that way we can actually have the controls right there. We don't need an external keyboard. We can just kind of get things going. And the only things that we're going to need installed on it is OBS. So we will install Pi apps and run it through that. And then what we're going to do is install Audacity. And with that, we will be able to do any sort of voice work, that kind of a thing. But we want to get it so that this is really silent, but it's keeping the Pi cool. This is definitely not a quiet unit here, so let's just see if it'll pick it up on camera or on audio. I'm just going to grab my battery bank. So I have this battery bank here that I actually won. What did I do? That was for a project. One of my projects. What was it? Oh my gosh. What? Oh, I forget which project it was now. Anyways, was it project? Oh, okay. Anyways, I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyway, so we're just going to get things plugged in here. I'm putting this, using this cable here. I do have a 7-inch screen over on the other side of my bench here that I'll be using for the setup process. With its really short USB cable, I need another looking for an HDMI cord for a while, and it's just sitting in my drawer. Okay, I see why. Okay, so is this going to be long enough? Yeah, that should be long enough. We'll try this anyways. So I used Raspberry Pi Imager. What we're going to be using, I told you I wasn't going to go for Bullseye, but I decided let's try the Bullseye 64-bit version. Worst case scenario, we just start from the beginning again and then, work our way back. Not the end of the world if things don't really work out, right? So I'm just going to get this screen on first so the Raspberry Pi doesn't freak out. And kind of turn this here. My battery bank's a little dead. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it is fairly loud. but it pumps the air. And let's see here. Let's see if we can actually get a signal. No? Something's happening. Trying to figure out what. Getting a GPIO error. Try that again. So the Raspberry Pi that I have in here has definitely seen better days. It might actually be damaged. Yeah, I'm still getting this. Failed to set GPIO 6 state. I'm not sure what that is. That is failed to set GPIO 6 state. Okay, so someone searched it before. Kernel issues with the Raspberry Pi. All right. Okay, so this might be the 64-bit having issues by the looks of it. Okay, it's doing a reboot here. Something's happening. Okay, I think it just shut itself down. So pin 6, that should be my ground, is that not right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Maybe. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this. And I'm gonna just pull this out. As you can see here. Be fine. Unless there's something else I'm missing. Okay, let's just try it this way. Possible error there on ground. I'm getting some weird stuff happening here. Okay, maybe we won't be using this Pi. Okay. Right, do I have another Pi that we can use in the meantime? I do have a Raspberry Pi 3 here. Suppose we could probably use that. I don't care for this Pi though. So to me, something's going on here. So could I connect that to another ground maybe? Wonder if that's what's happening. I've done some playing around there, so I wonder if a trace got wrecked. Okay, well, let's try this on here. And I gotta change this. I need... Do we want to use the Raspberry Pi 3? I don't want to pull a Pi 4 out of anything else right at the moment. So. And I think this band's pretty loud. Grab a micro USB cable here. That. That guy in. And we'll go with that. That sounds terrible. Okay, so for now, I'm unplugging that. Something's wrong with this one fan, but okay. All right, so we got the 64-bit operating system going. Waiting for it to come up here. Oh, it sucks. I was really hoping to use this Pi 4. But I guess we can get it set up on the Pi 3 and then just drop the card in here once I go through this a bit. Unless that's bridged. Bridged. All right, let's see if this will actually load up. Oh, at least we'll be able to test out and see how things run on the Pi 3. I'm not sure I wanted the 64-bit OS on this one then. Come on. Okay, so I've got Plug the cord in. Yeah, we know, low voltage. All right, so get VNC running here. I'll bring over. Oh, 7.6 here. One. Okay, let's see if I can get that. Now I should be able to go to the way a bit. Okay, we'll do something like that for right at the moment here. Yeah, so right now, so this is now all on the Raspberry Pi 3. We will install Pi apps on it. We will install OBS, and then we will install Audacity. I was originally going to use the Pi 4 here, but I'm getting an error on pin 6, which is my ground. I don't know what's going on there. Might try to play with that later on, but I did want to use this case. But if we're using a Pi 3 and everything will work properly, then we will just, yeah, we'll just use a Pi 3 because less power, right? And then we can have other things set up. And then maybe we can come up with something more custom for it. Maybe we'll make a hat for it that we can actually use to do some more, well, do anything more. Have more fan control, have audio inputs, things like that on it. And yeah, I do think plugging this into a case that has a 7-inch touchscreen, we will probably repurpose my one screen here. The Raspad, as much as I like it, it gets too hot. So I'll be curious to see what the temperatures on this guy are going to be when we do the tests here as well. I'm going to let that go. So yeah, we're going to get low voltage warnings all the time here. Right now, like I said, I have it plugged into my battery bank here. You can get rid of the low voltage warning, but I honestly forget how to do it. It's been so long, so I'm not worried about that. Let's down a little bit closer here. Probably try turning this guy on. Oh, put more light on her. We won't run the fan because this one needs to be replaced, and I really just don't like the fans on this unit. They actually do nothing for it. Okay, still installing the packages. What we can I know chromium and stuff like that was in there. So with the Pi 3, what we might have to do is actually overclock it. And then I want to try that one app on Pi Apps to download more RAM. We want to download more RAM for the Pi. So I'm curious about that program and yeah, see if it'll actually work well for us. I think it's just dealing with the swap sizes. So if it works, great. If not, not the end of the world. We're testing. Um, since Pi 4s are harder to get right now, like I would only want to buy the 8 gig models. We're just gonna wait on that for sure. We'll use what we have right now. We have this guy, Pi 3. We can always upgrade to that Pi 4 that I do have there, but we are going to want to fix that GPIO problem there. So I'm wondering, yeah, what's going on there. But supposedly that happens with some of the 64-bit. What did that? It said something about yeah, some kernel issue with the 64-bit version, and 32-bit versions are absolutely fine. So we probably will change the OS on here, but we'll see how this goes. See if we can make it somewhat snappy and usable. But we want to wait, so we'll just wait. While that's doing that, I'm gonna have a drink of water. I'll be right back, and then we will carry on here. All right, so I'm just double checking that there's no issues with the updates here. That's all this is really doing, and seeing what's there. So we can do sudo apt auto remove to get rid of that one package that's no longer needed. Hit enter. I want to come up here, panel items, add temperature monitor, that up. Yeah, we can put it there. And on usage monitor. Oh, there we go. Okay, preferences. That is a percentage. And then we want to add one more. And this is just so we can actually see what's going on. There is resource monitors. Bring this up over here. Preferences. Half the time this doesn't work, so we gotta go to that, and then we go preferences again. That. There we go. All right, so we can actually see what's kind of going on here. Okay. Here, I'm gonna go to Pi apps. We're gonna try this stock and see where we go from there. Pi apps, and it should bring up the GitHub right away here. This definitely more CPU intensive on the Pi 3, but we kind of knew that was going to happen. Guy here. Copy that. Terminal. Control Shift and V. Hit enter. Close out the browser because we need as much resources as we can get. Change this background here as well. Much going on at one time. And we want no image. Color. That not work. Little line down the side here. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, we'll just go like that. Select. That. So that's not bad. We're only at 40 degrees Celsius right at the moment there. So I'm quite happy with that. Even at an idle temperature, right? This should, no matter what, be a lot cooler than that Pi 4 was. I don't know how OBS is going to work on here, or if it will at all. We are on the 64-bit, so I don't know if it's specific, if it's going to only work on the 32-bit, or if we can get away with it on the 64. I haven't tried it on here yet, let alone on the Pi 3 with the 64-bit OS. So, but that should be kind of in its favor, but we'll see what happens. Go away. So I have this on a 64-bit micro SD card. Here, and then we want. No, I probably should update Pi app settings. Pi apps. You know what? Let's go. update the firmware on here. What? Valid hash. What we'll do for now is I'll go like this and move this one over here. Right, so I'm gonna get that going. I actually think that this fan here is gonna die. I figure we'll turn the fan on and see if it actually does anything, but I actually wish I didn't buy the this case with the fans on it. I wish I got the solid unit. I think it would have been just as good, and I think it was actually cheaper. So that's fairly quiet. I'm not too upset about that. Calm down. So, and originally I did use the Raspberry Pi 3 as a desktop, and then when Pi 4 came out, I upgraded to that. So I know this is going to be capable. I just don't know how much we might have to fight with it and how much we might have to tweak, right? So if we can run OBS under 71 degrees Celsius, I'll be happy. That will be the main thing, but I think anything's better than the Raspad when it comes to getting rid of the heat. I'm just gonna go sudo reboot, and that will disappear and come back in a moment here. Okay, we should be coming up in just a moment here. There we go. All right, so we got Pi apps installed. So let's get that RAM one going. Where is it? Pi apps. Since I'm curious now, go to all apps. We're probably going to have a CPU issue, but do want capacity, that free RAM or something like that. Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. More RAM. Let's install that. So as you can see here, this is our RAM usage, this one in the red here. So if we can get that down a bit, and then I think we're going to have to overclock this quite a bit, but then I will have to get a better power supply on here. So right now we are installing more RAM on the Raspberry Pi. Not cool. Who says you can't download RAM? Pretty sure I'm doing that right now. Yeah, you can see it's the ZRAM swap. Okay, yeah. Okay. And it looks like we're going to want to do a reboot. It took up 4 gigs almost. That's not too bad, I guess, right? What's the Pi 3 have? 512? All right. Anyways, we will get the other. Oh, we should get the pop up here. It's just running slow. I forgot about that. And then we're going to go down to OBS. Install. We'll just install everything and then we'll go from there and see what we need to fix and tweak. And great thing about Pi apps is once you reboot your Raspberry Pi, if there is an update for one of the apps you have installed, it'll do it for you. So kind of nice. But with the Pi 4, the new Bullseye there, it all tends to have the auto updater on it anyways. So we are on Bullseye right now. So you actually see how much RAM we're using. Besides about half of it. There we go. Okay, it's 1 gig of RAM. Or was the original 3 512, or was it always 1 gig? Hey, well, the fans, I guess, are knocking it down 1 or 2 degrees, so I guess that's not too bad. We have it under a fairly good load. Now, if it can keep up that temperature with OBS running and Audacity, then I'll be happy. 38 degrees, 100% doable. So right now, my main Pi 4 is just has my Twitch stream manager on it, and it's running about 39 degrees over there. So, and that's with the Argon 40 case. So, or Argon 1. I don't know, but I don't like that case either. It looks nice, but I don't like it. Looks like it is installing the ARM64 stuff. I wonder once we get this set up if we put it in the Raspad and see how it runs on there. Because if we have the extra RAM manager and everything running on there as well, the swap, not really RAM, but yeah, I think what we'll do is we will open up the config file for the boot and overclock it once we figure out if this will work just under stock settings there, minus the RAM. That's using a lot of RAM just for installing this. Weird seeing that RAM up that high compared to like the Raspberry Pi 4 8GB, where I don't even think I've gotten it up to the halfway point. So I don't know, maybe 8 gigs is just too much RAM. You don't need that much. It's nice to have, but I haven't had any programs or apps that really needed much more than 4 gigs. So was it throttling me while this is happening? Let's have a look here. So if I go, what is it? VC gen command, get throttled. So it is throttling due to under voltage. So So I'm just gonna go sudo nano we'll come back to this in a minute here, but I just want to go big.txt just because my screen is a 7-inch screen that I'm actually doing this on. It's really annoying having that warning come up. And we're just going to scroll down to the bottom here and type in avoid warnings 1. Control X, yes, go. And we're just going to reboot and we'll see if we have more RAM. And oh, I did not install Audacity. I will do that when we get back up. Okay, so we're still getting that warning there. So we need to add another line in there. 100% usage. Not sure if that. Okay, so we're going to go back into here. Go to the bottom. And we're going to go. Actually, go. What are we on? Add view frequency front end. That up here. Bluetooth we can actually turn off. Okay. So once this is actually fully running, we're not going to connect it to the internet all the time. So Wi-Fi will be turned off then. 100 is our I think what I'm going to do is we're going to here and sudo apt remove lx plug dbat should remove this warning state that we get here. Probably have to reboot, but let's go here. What else do we want to do here? we have okay. Let's say arm frequency. Let's go 1350, and then for is going to be 500 per message. Disable the splash screen. So we can go. I don't think I'm going to force turbo. What are we at here? Yeah, let's go with that for now. Yes, enter, and then sudo boot. All right. RAM usage is okay. So let's launch Pi apps again. I don't think that free RAM, free memory actually helped any. Multimedia. This one. And we'll just go ahead and install that. So when I get everything set up properly, there's no reason why I'll have all this up here. I'll probably just have these two. I won't worry too much about the RAM one, and I won't worry about this one. I do believe the Pi 3 is 1.2 gigahertz stock. So we didn't boost it too much, but it's just enough to give a little bit of a little helping hand. And our temperatures aren't overly changed. We could turn the governor off and force turbo all the time, but I don't want to burn the board out. If we're idle, it doesn't need to be running at that clock speed, right? There's other tweaks and things we can do later on. I'll definitely be heavily tweaking the final setup on the Raspberry Pi here. Not on this one, but on whatever housing I've got it set up with. I'm gonna have to look for some really quiet, low-powered fans that can move a lot of air. So yeah, basically tonight we're just setting this up and just testing out that yes, the programs work. Uh, I think with OBS, what we'll do is we will get that going and we'll try streaming from it just to see if that temperature stays below that 71 degrees Celsius that the Raspad was at, which I definitely think it will, but who knows? All right, so let's go here and let's see if OBS will actually launch. No idea if it works on the 64-bit here. I'm keeping an eye out on our CPU usage here and our temperatures. I think the Pi 4, it was about 30% CPU usage on idle. So if we can kind of get there at that, then I'll be happy. It may take some time to launch, just so you know. But it just dropped down to 0, so I don't think it's going to work. No, I don't think that's working. Really trying. Oh, so it doesn't like that. Um, we are getting an error here. Um, I really think that I should go back to Buster on this one. Anyways, I know things work better on there in general. Um, yeah, I totally think that's what we'll do. Okay, that guy, grab that guy, and where'd my little SD guy go? Just had it. Oh, way over here. So go like that, and then this. Here. That for right at the moment here. Choose OS. We're going to go to other. We're going to scroll down. Vivian Buster. Storage. Oh, that for a minute. We got to actually plug it in. Choose storage. This one. So yes, I want those. I did select the right drive, right? Now it's got me worried. Right, 64. Okay, there we go. All right, and we'll let that do its thing. If anyone has any questions, just toss them out there. Well, I'm really curious what I did to this Raspberry Pi 4. Oh, I bodged it up pretty good. But the fans were working. So if the fans were working, I totally did something. So what I think I'll do is I'm gonna treat it with I'm gonna clean everything up, and then maybe what I'll do is on a stream we'll just go through and get the microscope on well, maybe we'll do a demo test stream on the Raspberry Pi 3, and we'll take a look at the Raspberry Pi 4, because I'm pretty sure I can get that USB microscope working on that alongside another camera, but we'll only be using one camera at a time, mind you. And then I'll, yeah, definitely get my macro keyboard working for it. And that way we're going to be able to switch through each scene a little bit better. Yeah, so we'll just wait for that. Um, it'll go through its writing stage and then it'll do its verifying stage. It'll take a little bit, but I got time. Well, a little bit of time. Probably only be on here for another half an hour or so. So go from there. But I do want to get this rig working. So I would love to get the Pi on the wall there. I would love to make a massive like keyboard and mouse for it, up that whole bench, and use the actual, I guess right here, use the actual USB ports in that to be able to control the Raspberry Pi. I think that'd be kind of cool to do. And then, yeah, we could do like I don't want to put people have asked if I'd put like a Raspberry Pi hat on it or something, but then you're covering it up, and I don't want to do that. But it would be nice to add like something like a 32-inch TV below it and use that as the monitor, and then just have everything look just completely ridiculous. So we might do that yet. I do want to revisit that project. Yeah, there's definitely things I'd change. Oh, hopefully my audio is actually working correctly now. I know it was a pain in the butt there for a while. I was, well, it was like watching a silent movie over here. So hopefully now we are better. If anyone has any project ideas that they'd like to see or have done on the show here, just let me know either in the comments or in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, in the comment section, let me know what kind of projects you want to see on either the Raspberry Pi 3, Pi 4, and or the Pico, the Pi 2, Pi 02W, whatever. I'm pretty much game for playing with anything Raspberry Pi. I do love my Arduino stuff too, and that is more what I do in my off time is play with Arduino, just because there's still lots there that I'm learning. But I'm learning a lot when it comes to the Raspberry Pi. I've just been using it Raspberry Pi daily, so when a project comes up, I can tinker away at it right away versus going, oh, I got to pull out all this stuff. It's actually like right there, right in front of me, ready to go. Wonder how long of a GPIO cable you could have on a Raspberry Pi before you start losing any sort of quality. If anyone knows, let me know. Like if I could get, 4 foot and be able to have like an actual breadboard on my desk here and have my Raspberry Pi on the other side, that'd be pretty cool. I just do a braided cable like I did on, well, not a braided cable, but the GPIO cable. I would definitely make it shrunken down as much as possible. Sometimes this is almost like watching paint dry. The amount of times I've seen this screen. Okay, we should be good now. So I'll just get that back up and running here. So we can close that out. Grab that. Hold there. And we'll redo our setup. Be a minute here and I'll get VNC running again. Going to go through its basic startup here and resize the boot partition and all that kind of stuff. And we're back down to a 32-bit OS as well. I know Bullseye with the 32-bit will run OBS, but we're just going to go right for what I know works and will work well on a Pi 3. Some point it'll work. Battery must be, or the power bank I have there must be getting low. Wi-Fi is connected. Let's just get preferences, Raspberry Pi configuration. Interfaces, we're going to get NC enabled. And that should kick us back in. It might have been too long. Let me restart that. Okay. That looks like garbage. All right. But that is what we get for now. All right. Picture quality up. Okay, so what we're gonna do is open terminal, and we'll just do our sudo apt update and sudo apt get full up. Excuse me. Go. Okay, while this is updating, I will be right back. I'm just going to take a quick break and we'll continue on. So, once again, I will be back shortly here. We'll let this do its thing. That screen completely. Oh, yeah. Okay, be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. Okay, so let's get on to let's update the firmware. Oh, make sure that's all up to date. Just going through. We're just going through the same process we were on the Pi 4, the 64-bit bullseye, but now we're doing it on the 32-bit Buster, which originally I should have just done originally. Once all this gets up to date here, what I will do is I will get a few of I'll get a few of the things installed on here. Or actually, I guess I could probably do it now here. On front end. Do temperature monitor. Do usage. And running out of room on my screen. Resource monitors, we're going to add that. Up. On. Maybe I should have waited. Oh, we might be locked up. We're going to close that for right at the moment, and we're just going to let it do its thing here. Okay, once this is done, we'll just give it a reboot, and we'll adjust those things up there. And then we'll go ahead and get Pi apps installed again. And we'll start from the beginning again there. So I'll just get everything set up tonight and just make sure that OBS is working, and then I'll probably call it a night, and we'll carry on either on Tuesday or Thursday, coming up with something we can do with this. But throughout the week, I might also do a couple live streams just to work on this a bit more. Let's go to add remove panel items, and we are going down to where is that up? That there. Front end, I'm okay with it being over there. This needs to be right there. Okay, and one more. preferences, show it as percentage, and then I want to go to resource monitors, turn that off, turn that on, okay, and then preferences again, okay. To me, that looks like a lot less RAM usage. I could be wrong. Okay. Close that. Actually, let's go back to here, and then we'll go nano boot config.tf. Oh, that again. XT. Scroll to the bottom and void warnings 1 and Control X, Y, enter, and sudo apt remove lx plug dash that. Y. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll go back to here. Arm frequency will equal 1350 or the grid for usage will equal 4. Disable flash 1. Go boot play equals 1. I'm not gonna overclock the RAM. I'm not sure if it works. Actually, I think it does work on this board. Been a while, but we're gonna go with that. Enter, enter. Okay. Right now, I do believe our GPU memory at like 76. So we need to at least get that to 128. Not worried about that. Okay, let's reboot that. Hopefully all that works. Alrighty. So by the looks of it, some reason my screen resolution isn't showing up correctly on here. I wonder if that's due to my VNC or if it's the Pi itself. On my Pi itself, it actually looks half decent. Well, a little stretched out, but okay. So we are going to now open up our browser. I think I messed that up. I got to keep that this way, don't I? All right. And oh, look at those. Those I haven't seen those in a while up there. Let's go I apps. Get that one liner. Got here. Okay, so what we can do is turn our Bluetooth off. Here. Scroll down, we'll get that one liner here. Copy that here. So we're actually running a little bit cooler by the looks of it at 36, 37. But we'll see what happens here under load. CPU usage definitely better. We haven't installed that RAM thing again, but I'm actually thinking that RAM is lower than what it was before. I don't know. I'd have to go back on the video and check, but we'll go with that for now. We'll say it's better. I think the CPU usage is definitely down from what it was on the 64-bit version of Bullseye. So it's definitely liking this a lot more. Okay. Preferences. No one care about the Pi app settings. We just Pi apps. That out. Let's close this out. All that RAM dropped down substantially. Okay, here we're peaking launching Pi apps, but it's still not too bad. All right, so let's start installing thing. Install Audacity. I guess the main thing it comes down to is being able to get OBS working. If it's a screen resolution issue or anything like that, we want to know and figure out what's going on. It should work on here. Eventually we will get there though. Maybe not tonight, but some point. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, we'll just wait a moment here and let that pop back up here. Down to we want the more, yeah, we'll install it. Should work better on here now. We could just do it all through terminal, but okay, that looks a little bit more promising. We're still running 30, 38, 39. Now this has actually had time to load up. We can actually scroll through it a little quicker. And OBS, let's get that installed. Yeah, please install all of that. Hopefully this time without any errors. All right, so far looks like no errors, but we don't know what's coming up. I bet if I just went for a bullseye 32-bit, it would have worked, but maybe what I'll do is the Pi 4 that I have to repair here. What I'll do is I will make that bullseye 64-bit and try setting that up for desktop usage. So I'll just make the image and then copy it once I get it all set up and get all the apps I want installed, make sure they work, and then dump it onto my M.2 drive for my main Pi, if it works. I still want to go back to Buster on it, but that's just because everything worked. Once this is done installing, all we're going to do is do one more reboot, and then we will just double check, make sure everything's working. And if it's not working, well, we'll have to come up with something. It might be the screen resolution. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. We'll play around with a few things. Ready? So we've got that done. All right, so we're just going to go ahead. We're going to do a reboot. And we'll be right back, and we will test out all our apps and see if things are working properly. Alrighty, should be coming back online here in just a second. Go. And as you can see, we do not have any sort of warnings now for the low voltage. And I'm kind of worried that the battery bank that I have everything plugged into is going to die before I'm done here. So I'm just going to go right into OBS and see what happens here. If it'll actually launch. If it launches, we're good. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so we're here. Do I want to actually just want to optimize it for recording because, but we want to try it streaming just to see if we can get it working. Base res, oh, yeah. We're gonna go like that, and We are going to use 30. It's going to go through all the process. I just want the display that I'm actually set up for to be at that 1280 by 10, or yeah. Yeah, because I can read those settings. Apply them. And might have an issue here. If I can bring that up like that. Well, what do you think? We should huh. No matter what, it's just going to be terrible on here. So I got to play with the actual screen resolution here and make that a little better here. So let's go ahead. Let's install the webcam. So I'm going to grab that. All right. I'm just going to this. Suck the battery, but you know. Okay, got the camera plugged in. Now we're just going to add it. Video capture device. Let's go C922. Okay. And I cannot see anything on this screen. Device. We might have some issues here. Here. Smaller. Okay. Frame rate, we're going to do at 30. Here. I think we're going to have to actually. Okay. Testing. Testing. Okay, so that's desktop. Add audio capture device. C922 audio. There. Play around with this a little bit. Let's get this down here. Drink that. Okay. Okay, so now we do have some audio picking up now here. So what I want to do is I want to if there's going to be an easy way to do this. I might just have to plug it into a bigger monitor for now, but let's go to stream. Gotta grab settings. Where was it? Stream. Okay, copy. And we want to come over here and then paste. Okay. Need to be able to see. OK button. Where is it? Okay. That's probably not what I wanted to press, was it? Okay, so we're going to go with that. I don't want this browser opening up. Close that out. Try that. Let's see if I can go tab, tab, okay. Did it work? I have no idea. Oh, back into settings here. Stream. Okay. Here. Tab once. Okay. Tab. Tab. No. Need a save button. This. That's not going to do it either. Hotkeys. Streaming. Control Alt and S. Something else. Control Alt and N. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. Okay, let's try that again. Actually, let's go to preferences. Go to Raspberry Pi configuration. Play, set resolution. It's not even showing me my actual settings here. I think what we'll do is we'll go here. I need to get this screen much better. Sudo raspi config. Play resolution. Not the resolution. What can we do here? Set Um, let's try that. For some reason I have a feeling there was something in there, but I forget which setting I had to select. It's been a while since I used Pi 3. Maybe that looks better, right? Maybe. Go to preferences, screen configuration. Okay, configure screen, save HDMI 1, resolution. Try 720 by. I think this is better. Could be wrong, but it looks better. Let's go to our OBS. Okay, so okay, let's go advanced options, GL driver. Try that one. Well, we might be installing Bullseye on here, the 32-bit version at some point. If I can't get this to keep the screen resolution I want. Should be coming up here. Right about now. All right. File. Video. Uh, um, Okay, so well, that's gonna suck if it's only gonna work with the OpenGL driver. Oh, if this command will work. Okay, so it looks like we're able to force that. Let's get this back to kind of belongs here. Here, round swarm, quit the screen. Okay, so we've got that up and running now. I guess I could tilt it a little bit more so you can see what's going on here. So as you can see there, battery bank there is slowly dying. That's the little 7-inch touchscreen that I have on there. So what we're gonna do is go to settings. Hopefully I can get my stream key on here. We are using 96. All right. Okay. Hotkeys. All right. Set that as 0. Stop is 9. No idea if I can actually shrink this enough to click on OK. Oh, I guess we can do it that way. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to press 0. And, oh. Okay, so we are streaming now. Supposedly. So we're at... There goes that RAM usage. Okay, I'm just going to pop over to... Stream Manager here for this one. I don't know who that person is, but thank you for the follow on the channel I don't use. Testing with Melanap. Let's see. Still showing my stream is offline. Or did I put that on the wrong one? Let's go 9. It says I'm live. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm slowly getting stream going here. So display resolution is 608 by 601. So frames per second, it was jumping from 30, 32. I am on Wi-Fi. I'm not expecting a miracle. My bit rate sucks. So it looks like I should dump that down to output lower than the 1080. Okay. Disable low latency. Maybe, no, we're still buffering. Okay. So let's stop the stream. And let's go to settings. So yeah, so 43 is our max temperature. We're at, well, we were at 99%. And RAM usage, yeah, we're still not bad. Yeah, let's go to stream. No, output. Streaming, video bitrate, audio. Advanced if we can. Not. Video. Okay, output. I thought I turned that off. Okay, so okay. Now we should be able to come over here. Output, and we're gonna do with 720 and by cubic was actually wanted. Let's change canvas resolution as well. I close this, save there. Okay, that makes life a lot easier doing that. Let's restart OBS. So I did have to run that in OpenGL. So I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to actually get that to work properly without using that script to launch it and forcing OpenGL, because I want the resolution of my screen here. Like if I bring this up here, so as you can see, it doesn't look bad on my little 7-inch screen here. But always going to be some room for improvement. Like right now, yeah, we're sitting at a pretty high CPU usage. We are overclocked. Down just a little. Back. Transform. Screen. There we go. There, that's a little better. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and try to stream that. So let's go 0 on the keyboard, and I'll see if we get a better frame rate here. Okay, so at 720, we're still getting. So right now it's 100% my actual bit rate. The Wi-Fi on this one isn't that great, but we do have it working on a Raspberry Pi 3. You know, we're using 97% CPU, 94, that kind of a thing. But when you look at that temperature difference at 44 degrees Celsius compared to 70 on the Raspad, I would rather run this at 97, 98% or somewhere in there and having, yeah, it just sit there. So I think I'm okay with that for tonight. So I think what we'll do is we'll just wrap it up for tonight, and we'll play around with it some more. And maybe I'll hook it up to a bigger monitor so we can actually see what's going on and be able to see those settings a little bit better. And that's probably what's happening with it not being able to display the resolution properly with the OpenGL driver. Now, we could just go ahead and do bullseye and see if that actually helps, which it might if we use that 32-bit version. So something to try. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But for now, we're going to call this a win for tonight. I'm pretty sure Audacity works. But here, here, and hit 0. Hit something. Probably not the right one. Oh, close that. And we'll click on that one. So I was going to stop that stream. So CPU 75%, but 44, 45 degrees Celsius. We'll definitely play with this more and get those frames per second up. I'm really tempted to just go ahead with Bullseye and see if that runs better on the Pi 3, the 32-bit version. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, so thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and make sure to hit that follow button, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?